Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream episode 446. And why does my chair feel like it's uneven? Oh well, I'll have to deal with it. Anyway, how is everyone doing on this marvelous Friday? Before we get into why the hell the stream is titled the way it is, because I just want to let more people trickle on in. Yesterday was the technology assessment for the new computer and everything. So I'll be getting the Mac Mini, the new Mac Mini. So it's like, and it is quite literally, it is a square that is like this so it's like, I don't know, maybe 6 inches by 6, like 6 like this, 6 like this, and then like that thick. So it's like a large paperback novel, but not rectangular, square. That's what it looks like. And it will just literally sit on the corner of my desk when it comes, and I'll just hook everything up. It is technically a desktop, so I do still have to plug it in. It doesn't have a battery, but it's not gonna take up any room. What's gonna take up room is like the monitor, and the keyboard and stuff like that. But yeah, it is a tiny freaking thing. And then the braille display, I wish that my phone hadn't needed to be charging, because I would have taken pictures for you guys and posted them on Twitter, because the braille display was so cool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to Google what it looks like for you. I'm going to Google up a Focus 40. So that you guys can see it, because it is like, me describing it is gonna suck. So hold on, Focus 40. Hold on, Freedom Scientific Focus 40. Let's see if we can get a picture pulled up for you guys so I can screen share it. It is so cool. And I'm gonna be able to to Bluetooth it to my phone, so I can pull the articles up on my phone and show you guys, and read quickly, navigate through things quickly, summarize them for you, instead of regurgitating over and over and over and over, being a regurgitating annoying news anchor person. So let's see if I can pull this up here. Yeah, so let's pull this up, see if we can get an image up for you. I'm super excited. It is and it's about a foot long, and it is basically like a flattened out, elongated sound bar. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a sound bar, just for reading braille. So let's get this shared really quick. And of course, when the tech actually comes, and it'll probably get here either just before or just after Christmas. But when everything gets here, you best believe I'm going to live stream the setup and the unboxing and everything. So this is the Focus 40 Blue, which is what I'm getting. And yes, you're not misreading that price. It is rather expensive, which is why the funding needs to happen. So let me just scroll down a little bit, because I know if I hover over the picture, you guys won't be able to see it. Let's see. So yeah, this is what the Focus 40, this is going to be my Braille display. That's what I'm getting. So I'm hoping it's going to really improve stream production, so that I'll be able to quickly read through and summarize, which is what I should be doing, instead of just like reading verbatim the what the hell was I? Oh yeah, I was sharing this on Twitter. So that I can summarize what I'm reading instead of just read it word for word, because like you guys can read things word for word. That's not really the what I wanted to do, like what I intended on doing. So yeah, I'm really excited about getting this new computer and the Braille display. Let's see, where am I here? There we go. Yeah, technology is great, isn't it? Oh God, yeah. Ryan, it is an actual travesty. Like, this thing should not cost what it does. Like, it really you could buy a decent used, like a decent first car for your teenage kid for what this fucking thing costs. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could, like, if you wanted to set your kid up with, like, not a crazy ass expensive brand new car, but not a, like, not a jalopy, right? Not a junker. If you wanted to, like, middle of the road, get your kids set up with a first car that, if they're responsible with it, they could get a good few years out of it, you'd pay, like, 3 or 4 grand. This is the cost of a freaking good first used car for your kid. It's insane. So, that is the Braille display that I'm going to be getting. It's going to be really, really, I can't wait. And like I said, when the Mac Mini and the Braille display do get here, there will be a live streamed, like, unboxing and setting up, and like it'll be fun. It'll be fun. So, Dr. Functional in chat this morning poses a very good question. Cheese ... grains? Yes, Functional. Cheese grains. So, I was scrolling Twitter yesterday, and Justin Trudeau pops up in my feed, as he does. Like, every third or fourth tweet in my feed is Justin Trudeau tweets. And they're not old. Like, they're recent. Like, from the same day that I'm scrolling through. So while he's claiming that, the campaign trail is super busy and super exhausting, what do one of the new Braille printers cost? Oh, I didn't even think to ask, because I didn't, like, if I've got a Braille display, I honestly don't want a Braille printer, because I can just, why print out what I can just carry around in Bluetooth? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I didn't even bother. I don't even, let's look that up. I'm interested now. So while I'm describing what I found on Twitter, I'm gonna look that up. So yeah, so Trudeau, while he claims how insanely busy the campaign trail is, the the tweet that I found really amusing yesterday, and that does very much prove that, at the very least, he's insanely unprideful. You just watched a Honda sideswipe an SUV in your rear. Oh my god. You just missed that. So this tweet illustrates that at the least he's got some idiot person managing his social media. At worst, he just, I don't know what, but he puts out a tweet that says fries, cheese curds, and gravy are just one of the things that helped us get through the busy campaign trail today in Quebec. And I'm sitting there going, you you say you're a proud Quebecer. You say you're proud to be from Quebec. And instead of actually saying the word poutine, you go fries, cheese curds, and gravy. As if the rest of Canada has no idea what you're talking about when you say the one word poutine. You've got to dumb it down for all of us. Because we stupid Anglophones must have no fucking clue what fries or what you mean by poutine. You've got to say fries, cheese curds, and gravy. But then it gets better. Okay? Because everything Justin Trudeau tweets in English, he tweets in French. Right? So I'm like, okay, please tell me he at least says poutine in the French tweet. No. And this is why I think I'm leaning towards he's got somebody, and Pincalo said this too, that he's got somebody that writes his tweets for him. Because I really think they typed that out in English and then hit Google Translate. Because the direct translation from English to French was posted in the tweet. Des frites, des grains de fromage, et le sauce de beefsteak. For those of you who are not French speakers, that literally says the fries, the cheese grains, and the beef sauce. The fucking... Des frites, des grains de fromage, et le sauce de la beefsteak. I'm like, oh my god, you are fuck. I really enjoy that type of stuff. I have not had bison. I would assume that it would probably taste a lot like grass-fed beef. Which I have had. Pincalo's uncle has a small grass-fed cattle farm, and the last time we were there, we got a nice big freezer full of the previous season's meat. And the grass-fed, it does have a bit of a different taste. Like, I do find that I do need to, like, season it a bit more heavily to get the grassy taste out of the meat. But I do like it. But yeah, I've never had bison or gorgonzola before. Oh, it's denser than beef. I would buy that. I would believe that it was denser than beef. Hello, selective boy. So yeah, Justin Trudeau's social media manager thinks that English Canada has no idea what poutine is, so they have to describe it. And then they were dumb enough to hit copy and paste into Google Translate and, like, directly translate what the English tweet said. Like, I guarantee you a French Canadian reading that tweet was like, what? Quoi? Des frites, des grains de fromage et la sauce de la beefsteak? Quoi? Ça c'est poutine, no? Like, that's... Oh my god. Oh my god. We need to remind me one of these weeks when we have a little bit of extra cash to go to the buffalo farm. Okay, yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting we have a buffalo farm near here. Then again, I like complex Scotch flavor, so maybe I'm just weird. Hey, Scotch is good. Scotch, I really enjoy going. We have a family friend that lives up in Ottawa, and he's a bachelor with a very very well paying job. So he has a rather extensive liquor collection, including rather extensive and expensive Scotch collection. And it is really really fun to go visit him because he likes to like he go, "Oh, here, I've got this Scotch. Let's try it." It's like, "Okay." Please twist my rubber arm. Oh no, I get to try new Scotch? Please God, no. You know what I mean? Oh God. Oh. The Freedom Scientific Braille Blazer. What is that? Or the Freedom Scientific Braille Blazer. Let's see how much that costs. Oh, and they still use Duxbury, the Braille translating program. Awesome. I just want to see the price. I just want to see how much it costs, you motherfuckers. Oh, I don't care. Anyway, let's get on with some news, shall we? I spent the whole meal analyzing these new flavors I got hit with. That's funny. That's amusing. I honestly, I've every year I go through a phase where I just do nothing but binge watch freaking Gordon Ramsay stuff. Like I'll go and I'll watch the British Kitchen Nightmares, and then I'll go and watch the U.S. Kitchen Nightmares. Pink Hollow and I, when we had cable, and then like he just discovered that it's on Amazon. Like we used to watch the hell out of Hell's Kitchen and Master Chef and like all that stuff. Um, it was yeah. I just go through this weird like, and there are some things that I don't like. Like I don't like seafood, right? I really don't like seafood, but whenever I listen to Gordon Ramsay describe like a scallop dish or like like a shrimp risotto or something like that, I'm like, okay, that almost sounds really good, except that I don't like seafood, but that almost sounds like I could almost eat it, like just from the way he describes it. I did this before Gordon Ramsay, but he did help me figure out the terminology. Ah. Oh yeah, Gordon Ramsay's great. I like people are like, "No, he's a freaking asshole." No, he's scallops were not good. I did not like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like that's my main problem is like I don't like the scallop. Like I've had scallops before and I don't like that texture. Um I find that seafood has a combination of things that I don't like. The texture and the taste. I don't like the taste of the seafood. And I used to really like freshwater fish. And then I got a like a tiny little bone, I think just from behind like the gill or something like that. And like my grandfather like he always took huge pride in how well he could fillet a fish and get the bones out. And this tiny little bone, it got stuck in my throat for like almost a week. Like I every time I swallowed, it was just like a stabby pain in my throat, and it really turned me off of freshwater fish, and that still to this day makes me sad because I really liked it. Oh, he's a perfectionist. Gordon Ramsay is a perfectionist, but what really, um, you know, made me understand his, like, his personality is, like, the way he really puts his passion into helping people that show him that they want help. Do you know what I mean? Like, in his efforts to help people's restaurants, for example, like, if they show him that they actually understand that they fucked up and that they want his help to fix the fuck ups and understand where they went wrong, he will throw everything behind that restaurant. And it's the same with watching him with MasterChef, especially the kid show, the kid MasterChef. Um, he's like, it's like he's working with his own kids, and it's really awesome to look like to watch. Yeah, no, he doesn't. That's very true, Ryan. That's a very good description. He doesn't push people beyond their capabilities, but he also has the ability to, like, see the potential in people that they themselves might not see in themselves. So yeah, it's I like Gordon Ramsay, like, a lot more than I like people like Guy Fieri or um Graham Elliott or who is the Italian dude that was also in MasterChef, or the British guy does MasterChef Canada. I don't like him either. Um, I really don't. I find them really arrogant. What was really funny was we used to watch MasterChef in description, and, like, an audio description, and so the describer would mention every time that Graham, like, Elliot tasted something, he would look up and just look up to the right, to the point where, like, where Pincolo and I used to joke that we could do a drinking game every time somebody said, every time the describer said Graham takes a bite and looks up to the right. Oh. Oh, yeah. Joe Bastianich. Thank you. Yeah. Costin! Hello. Also, Joe Bastianich is an actually terrible person. Let's see. Case in point. $200 Hades challenge. Yes. Ryan has challenged me to not only beat Hades on Hell mode, but beat it, like, 100% and unlock the fates. And if I can do that, and like, there's no time limit. I don't have to do it in, like, a certain amount of days or weeks or anything like that. It's just do it, right? And if I do it, he will give me $200. So yeah. So let's see here. So Trudeau and O'Toole, where are we here? There we go. Give me the headline, please. Trudeau and O'Toole and Singh call for an apology. Wait, what? They call for an apology over Bill 21 English debate question. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys... I honestly do not remember this particular question about Bill 21. Maybe because I was rather drunk. But there was a question brought up about Bill 21, which I believe does have to do with Quebec. I'm not... If you tell me to, name all the bills and what they do, I couldn't do that. Like, there are specific bills that I know, like Bill C-10 or Bill C-16 or all that stuff. But not... Or Bill 101, there's the Quebec language law, for example. But I do not know, like, I can't call to mind every bill and what it is. Um, but yeah, the O'Toole, Trudeau, and Singh, and it's all three of them. They're voting is gonna be fun on Monday. So we've got a picture of these three happy morons. Picture here. So these three people are calling for they want the media, like the journalists who took part in asking the questions in the debates. They want them to apologize for asking about Bill 21. So Singh, O'Toole, and Trudeau. Notice Legault is not, or not Legault, sorry, Blanchet. Notice Blanchet is not there asking for an apology. Dude, I want to drop several hundred tons of napalm on this city. I am not having a good moment or a good morning. Oh, man. Howdy, Gunny. Let's see. Yeah, your country's just as fucked as ours, so no thank you. Um, apparently Francois Legault has also denounced the question, but Francois Blanchet has not said anything. So that's right. The Bill 21 talks about banning some religious symbols from certain public sector jobs. Now, I covered this back in when it was a big issue in Quebec, going before the Quebec Assembly. Bill 20, like Gunfox. Bill 21 is a law that is in Quebec that states if you are if you wear any sort of like head covering or face covering and you work in the public sector, you cannot wear that covering while you're working. However, they don't add crosses to that or, any Christian religious symbology. It's only Muslim symbology. Which for my taste, I think that religion and government should not be together. And if you're going to ban religious symbology and like religious garb for your public sector employees, then you need to say that the Catholics need to also keep, and the Jews need to not wear their yarmulkes, or you need to scrap this bill. Because as much as I do not agree with agree with the teachings of Islam towards women and all that stuff, I think that in this country, we have no business singling out specific religions to otherize them. The way that we complain that those people do to us. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. And if you don't want religious garb or symbology in your public sectors, fine, but include all fucking religions in your province. Otherwise, shut up. And this is why people say that Quebec is a racist province, because they don't do that. Their argument is that, oh well, French Canadians are very Catholic, and that and our government is based on that. And it's like, okay, well then you don't get to claim separation of church and state, and you can scrap that bill then, because you're a fucking hypocrite. So, yeah. And then there's the fact that immigrants living in Quebec, even if they are Canadian citizens, do not have the same rights as, Canadian-born citizens based on in regards to where they send their kids to school. Like my aunt does not get to choose to send her youngest to an English speaking school because she is an immigrant, even though she has her citizenship, and he is like, her kids are all Canadian born, right? And she immigrated here before she got pregnant with any of them, and got her citizenship before she got pregnant with any of them. But that doesn't matter. She's an immigrant, but French is her third language, right? So of course she's going to gravitate to English first before French, because that's what she learned first after Russian, right? So like it's just what happens. But she doesn't have the right to choose to put her youngest son into an English school because she wasn't born in Quebec. And their French law basically says that when you come to Quebec as an immigrant, you have to learn French first. Like it basically, it's like it's codified. Like you have to learn French, and your kids have to learn French, and they will be immersed in French. But Quebec's not racist, y'all. No, no, no. Quebec's totally not racist. Um Oh dear Jesus. So this keeps being an issue. This is apparently coming up over and over again over the past week, because let's face it, in this election, all the parties only care about French votes right now. That's why there were 2 French debates and 1 English debate. That's why they have spent most of their time in Quebec. And they've been bouncing from like Quebec to Trudeau in particular has been spending a lot of time in New Brunswick, which is also a very heavily French-speaking population. And it's very, very telling that all of the parties that were allowed at the debate anyway have decided that Quebec is the only thing that matters in this election, basically. Which is probably going to be the downfall. If you look at the numbers for the People's Party of Canada, for example, they're in 3rd place. They were in 5th place 3 weeks ago when this whole thing started. People are so angry at what's going on right now, and at the fact that a vote for Erin O'Toole may as well be a vote for Trudeau at this point, that the PPC is at 26% right now. They're ahead of the NDP. This party is brand new, like brand freaking new. It's this, I think 2019 was the first time the PPC actually tried to take part in an election and actually had names on ballots. So for a party to basically come out of nowhere and be in 3rd place in its 2nd ever election, Canadian citizens are not happy. And the scary thing is that, like, there are some things, Maxime talks a good game about freedom of choice and all this stuff, but there's a lot of, burn the whole system down mentality in the People's Party of Canada, which the system we have needs to be fixed, but the structure it's still structurally sound. the the structure of our system still it's like my analogy for this is that century home that um it's got some definite exterior problems, and maybe there are some load bearing walls that need to be demolished and redone, but the foundation still works, right? There's no cracks in the foundation. There's no leaks in the concrete. The actual basement structure is good, but there are some major renovations that need to be done in this house, right? That's what I think of when I think of the Canadian system. And I really hope that the People's Party can, if they get into a position where they can make some change, that they can kind of rein in that burn the whole house down mentality and kind of take a step back and go, okay, maybe this house doesn't need to be burnt. Maybe we just need to do some demolition work here and take out some of these load bearing walls that have mold in them, and redo the plaster and the drywall, and some sheetrock, hang some new sheetrock up here, lay some new floors, fix the roof, get the windows repaired. But let's not burn the whole goddamn thing down, shall we? That's my fear. Is that the PPC is, and let me tell you this. I understand why people want to vote for them, because they're fucking pissed off with everything and they're fed up. I'm fed up. And the more I look at, O'Toole and the Conservatives, the more I'm looking at, it looks like the Liberals have just swallowed the Conservatives up. And maybe it is time to vote purple. But it's just, there's just so much anger and you like rightful anger of people saying, why are you trying to gain so much power that you don't fucking deserve? That's the biggest problem that people are having, is that the other parties basically are openly telling us, we think you guys are morons and we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want. Ha ha, fuck you. And a lot more people than the main three parties predict and estimate are going, no, sirs, fuck you. We're sick of you trying to tell us how to do every single thing in our lives, and we're sick of you telling us that if we happened to be able to work during the pandemic because we were what you yourselves considered an essential service, you cannot now turn around and say that we were profiteering. Like, that's what people are getting sick of. This absolute, creation of a system, then turning around and just shitting on the people that made the system that you created work. It's just sick. It's just disgusting. So, of course, these idiots are saying, the premise of the question was horrible, and it was disappointing, and we know that we have lots to do across the country to work on systemic racism. Yeah, how about calling out the Quebecers for playing my religion's better than your religion in the public sector? How about that? And of course, Mr. O'Toole has been he's trying to make plays for everything. So he's like, we'll defend the interests of Quebecers. And everyone's like, we're tired of Quebec bashing. We're tired of Quebec bashing and singling out of Quebec. That's what O'Toole said. That's what fucking O'Toole said. We're tired of Quebec bashing. And the consortium needs to apologize. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. You're... Just go be Trudeau's deputy prime minister, why don't you? Just go form a coalition. You go be his deputy prime minister. Everything will be fine. You just... Ugh. That's just... Screw you, Mr. O'Toole. I also did a video directed to Mr. Singh talking about I said, because there's a clip going around on TikTok where he's speaking with a disabled person who's asking him, what would you do for the disabled people when you're elected? And he's like, oh, well, I would implement a guaranteed livable income of $2,200 a month. And then, and that's it. So I did a video and tagged him, because he's on TikTok. And I tagged him in it. And I was like, so, neither you or any of the other parties have talked about how if disabled people on provincial benefits receive federal assistance, they get it clawed back dollar for dollar. So if you establish this livable income and you don't work with the provinces to stop that clawback of federal assistance, you are kicking millions of Canadians off their provincial benefits, which means they are also losing their healthcare benefits that are not covered under the OHIP system. Oh, you mean like some, medication, dental benefits, psychiatric, you get like 8 counseling visits a year. There's, basic coverage for stuff that's not covered under OHIP. And if you get these people kicked off their benefits, not only are you still keeping them in poverty because you've made them lose their provincial money, and the federal money you're proposing is only a couple $100 more. And rent in itself is still for at least even a 1-bedroom, even in small cities, is now over $1,000 a month. You're gonna, first of all, you're gonna keep disabled people in poverty. Second of all, you're gonna overburden the healthcare system because you're gonna have tons of people who have just lost their benefits that cover things that OHIP doesn't. How are you gonna... Yeah, and he's acting like it's an individual benefit. Pinkalo's right. He's acting like it's an individual benefit when in the provinces it's a household benefit. Yeah. Freaking, I have to, Pinkalo, I have to disclose that I am in a common law or a married relationship with Pinkalo. And my money is affected by that. Sing's a moron. And of course, and there are people also tagging him in my comments of that video. And of course, not one response from him, but he cares about disabled Canadians. So apparently, university's been back for a total of, classes have been back for I think a week, and Frosh Week was before that. Okay. And students in Western University are walking out to protest the year's troubling start. So today, apparently there's been a bunch of sexual assaults going on campus at a first year residence. So they haven't even been back to school for 2 weeks, and there's already a walkout scheduled because apparently at a first year residence there has been a bunch of complaints of sexual assault, and a first year student was actually murdered. So, and Western University is in London, Ontario. Okay, so we've had Frosh Week, and now we've had 1 week of classes, and students usually move into the dorm like maybe half a week before Frosh Week starts. So these kids these young adults have been at school for like 2.5 weeks, and already at a first year dorm we've had sexual assaults, we've had a murder, and the police seem to have found like no evidence. Like they've found very little information. There's been no actual reports. Like there's been no reports to the like campus. Like there's been no reports at the residence of assaults at all. They've so like so there have been like 4 complaints by 4 different students about an assault that took place on campus, but not at this specific named residence, I guess dorm. The police are looking into it, but there have been no actual reports, and it's so and the students are protesting a walkout. I don't know why, like if there was like tons of evidence that was being ignored and nobody was investigating, I could understand a walkout. But it seems like the police are trying to do their best here. It seems like they're working with the university to try and figure out what the hell's going on. Yeah, that is highly suspicious. Yeah, I don't understand, like, if have these students gone to campus security and asked for more security for the residents? Like, is there, like, I don't see what's being done wrong here. The police are investigating the complaints. Oh, Jesus. We've been outraged by recent events on our campus. The sexual, gender-based violence, as well as the separate act of violence. Yeah. Because sexual assault and rape is always about the gender of the fucking victim, not about the power the fucking perpetrator gets from it. You're a psychology student! And you say that, Drek? Holy shit. Holy shit. A Psych 101 student should know that sexual assault and rape are crimes of power. They're not... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow, okay. So apparently organizers have laid out several demands, and here they are. We're actually gonna look at these. So apparently gender-based training needs to take place. again, because sexual assault and rape are all about sexual preference and nothing about power and domination. So here are the demands. Mandatory training on gender-based and sexual violence. Education for students, faculty, and staff. Clarity on the process to report sexual violence. Guys, when I went to university 8 years ago, all of that shit was outlined in the fucking handbook. Have you read it? And accountability in creating a safer campus. So before you guys planned this protest and your demands, did you actually bother to calmly go to the campus security office and be like, hey, we're really concerned about the murder that happened here, and like while the police are investigating the complaints of sexual assault, do you think maybe we could bolster security for like the first years and stuff? Like, did you guys try to do that at all before going, walk out? Or are you just wanting to not go to school? Like, you guys have been in school for 2 weeks. Why are you walking out already? Like, you guys have... You know what this is? You know what this is? This is fucking Ned Flanders' parents when they took Ned to that doctor when he was a kid. What do we do, Doc? We tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. Like, yeah, I get it. Murder, bad. Sexual assault, bad. Did you try to calmly go to the campus security and the dean of students and asked for, while the police are investigating, can we have some bolstered security, please? Like, we pay to go here. Could you, maybe help us out? None of that. It's just, no. All we're gonna do is we're gonna fucking throw a temper tantrum. And honey, this isn't just first years that are doing this. One of the organizers is a third year. One of the organizers is a third year psychology student, and she's running around talking about gender-based sexual violence. Like, sexual violence and sexual assault and rape has, nothing to do with power and dominance. I think she needs to go back a few courses in her psychology and psychiatric training. So yeah, those are those demands. So it says here that students are asked to walk out of their class Friday at noon and gather in front of University College before making their way around the university. Oh, that's true. That's true. You're right. That would put them at that senior in high school at the walkout. So these guys are literally going to march around the campus. That's their plan. We're going to march out. We're going to leave the classes that we pay for. This is their brilliant plan. We're going to not go to the classes that we pay for, or our parents pay for, or that we are going in debt for. And we're going to march around the campus and yell through megaphones, demanding shit that's already in our handbook. And not asking calmly for some extra security while the police are investigating what's going on. Oh, look, the police are actually investigating what's going on. But who cares about that? Let's pretend that's not happening and leave the classes that we're paying for to march around like morons. You know what I would do if I were a professor today at Western University? You know what I would do? I'd go, cool, I'm going home. Bye. you guys want to pay fucking hundreds of dollars per course to not go to class today and walk around the campus demanding shit that most of which is already in your handbooks? Fine, I'm going home, and I still expect your assignments to be handed in. That's what I would do if I were a professor. I would just be like, you guys are fucking morons. I'm done. And of course, they're asked to mask up, even though they'll be marching around outside, and to wear the color teal. And of course, the walkout is going to feature speakers from survivors of sexual assault. So yeah, this is basically an excuse to not go to class and not be reasonable, calm adults. Honestly, if I were a parent, I'd like call the school and be like, yeah, I won't be paying for my kids' tuition anymore. I mean, this one's already paid for, but yeah, like I'd just be like, I'd tell my kids, like, listen, you want to be dumb? Fine, fund your own idiocy. I'm not paying for your courses anymore. Like, you have lots of recourse before, like, honestly, if shit's not being, if you're calmly, reasonably asking for shit to be done, and it's not getting done, and the police aren't investigating and all that stuff, then protest, okay? But you guys missed all the steps before going to the protest. You guys are so quick to protest that you are going to make protesting completely meaningless and completely annoying. Protests are supposed to make people take notice. The color of disposable face mask. Yes. Exactly. Welcome to 2021. Yep. So, I found this interesting article that I read, and I pre-read it. So, we already know that here in Canada, just before the whole COVID thing happened, there were some scientists employed by or who were part of the Chinese military academy, who were fired from the top security microbiology lab and virology lab in Manitoba. Well, according to a new article that I've just found this morning, one of the scientists that was fired from this position, who was working with the military academy, was also working, collaborating while working at this lab with a major general of the People's Liberation Army and the top virologist in the military science academy. And not only was this scientist working with this major general and top virologist, but the major general in the papers on Ebola that these two women were collaborating on, the major general's credentials were not properly disclosed. She was billed as Wei Chen, a doctor from a specific institute in the military academy. She was not labeled or billed as Major General Chen, and it has been discovered that Wei Chen and Major General Chen are the same person. Now, the other thing that is interesting is that this has this is just going more and more to prove that there were some very interesting collaboration, which is very, very concerning, especially since just before this outbreak, would you say I would say she is a modern major general. So just before the outbreak of COVID, both Ebola virus and Nipah virus were sent to China. And when I say that Ebola virus and Nipah virus were sent to China, I don't mean like weakened, attenuated stuff. I mean like they shipped live viruses on an Air Canada flight to China. So it says here, the Globe asked the Public Health Agency of Canada if it is standard practice for scientists at the NML, so the Manitoba, MNL, to work with high-level military medical researchers in China. That's a valid question. And then the answer is, quote, while the NML does not have institutional agreements with the Chinese military, Canada's scientists have collaborated with Chinese scientists to contribute to the global public health fight against deadly diseases, such as Ebola. PHAC spokesperson. This is said in a statement Tuesday. And then she says, quote, these collaborations have yielded vaccine and treatment candidates for diseases as documented in peer-reviewed journals. Okay, but is he both animal and vegetable too? So the problem here is we had freaking military scientists from another country in our top secret virology lab. They didn't have the right, or they got clearances that they shouldn't have gotten. The RCMP had to make them leave. You guys shipped live goddamn Ebola virus and live Nipah virus on an Air Canada flight to China. And then COVID happens. And interestingly, when I was looking up what Nipah virus was this morning, when I saw this when I was reading this article, I've noticed something rather interesting. Nipah virus is also a zoonotic virus. It has quite a few of the same symptoms that COVID does. And I've seen quite a few news articles about the concerns of a Nipah virus outbreak in India over the past 2 weeks. But everything's fucking normal and fine, right? Everything's fine. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. Everything's okay. God damn, we're fucked. Oh my lord. This is just I don't know. I don't know what else I can say without, running into the conspiracy theory side of things. So our last article we're going to quickly go over because voting day is Monday. In case we needed any more reason not to re-elect Trudeau, we've got a nice little top 10 here of Trudeau's most grievous fuck-ups since his election in 2015. Let's go over them, shall we? We're going to just quickly come over here and share the screen. Okay. I need to get to the freaking window thingy. StreamYard. There we go. Yeah. A David Letterman top 10? Kind of, maybe. It's maybe a David Letterman style top 10, but... Okay, here we go. Let's share this. Share screen. Yes, I just sung Share Screen in the Born Free tune. So screw you. Okay. So, this is headlined, if I can freaking get there, Trudeau's wrongdoings know no bounds. And the author is Warren Kinsella. He's another opinion columnist for the Toronto Sun. And I do kind of enjoy his writing. So, of course, this says, don't vote for Justin Trudeau. It's that simple. And I'm not going to summarize this article because it's worth reading the whole thing. It's that well written. So it says, ask Jody Wilson-Raybould. She knows, right? So let's see here. Where is it? In her best-selling new book, the former Liberal Attorney General pithily sums up. I like that. Pithily sums up why she couldn't abide Justin Trudeau any longer. Aga Khan. So, quote, Aga Khan, India, Vice Admiral Norman, SNC-Lavalin, Blackface, Oui, Payette, General Vance. There are patterns reflected in all of these, Wilson-Raybould writes. Quote, this way of governing was not my way of governing, and I did not want to be part of it, to be complicit. Yeah, I don't agree. I don't blame you, Miss Raybould. It's quite a list, isn't it? And it can't be in any way dismissed. It's the words of Trudeau's hand-picked Minister of Justice, and it's true because he did hand-pick her. And as millions of Canadians prepare to vote on Monday, it helps to remind us of Justin Trudeau's many, many failures. Here, then, are Trudeau's Top 10 transgressions. Remember these when voting on Monday. Yeah. And this is summarized so beautifully. You know, I actually have an image of this. So it's somewhere on your computer. It just needs to be updated for COVID. Oh, really? Given to the conspiracy theories, you know you want to. All right, so number one, and these are in chronological order. I love the way Kinsella did this. Okay, chronological order, brief summary points, but he gets everything in. So let's go here. This is brilliantly done. Here we go. 1. Influence peddling. So influence peddling. In 2016, Trudeau and his family paid a visit to the Aga Khan's private residence in the Bahamas. But someone else paid. But someone else paid. The Trudeaus were ferried around on the lobbyists' private helicopters, as were Liberal MPs Seamus O'Regan and Liberal Party President Anna Gainey. The Ethics Commissioner later concluded that Trudeau had violated conflict of interest laws because the junket put a lobbyist in a position of influence over no less than the Prime Minister of Canada. But it wouldn't be the last time Trudeau would run afoul of our law or of ethics laws. Yeah, okay. So that was the first ethics breach. 2016, freaking he got elected in October of 2015. Okay? So like a year after. That was his first screw up. It's in the folder labeled slideshow photos. Oh, okay. 2. International embarrassments. Oh, Jesus. In February 2018, the Trudeau family went on another trip, paid for by someone else. This time to India. And the Trudeau National Lampoon Indian vacation was a disaster. Yep. A disaster on an international scale. Yeah. 1. Trudeau didn't meet with a single senior of the Indian government for days after landing in New Delhi. Yeah, he just kind of like ran around India, acted like a moron. 2. He wasn't greeted at the airport by Indian leader Narendra Modi. I think that's how you pronounce that. Yeah, Narendra Modi. Despite Modi's preference for doing so with every other world leader. How badly did you have to screw up as a this is just, oh, how badly do you have to mess up as the leader of a country for the leader of another country who greets everyone that comes to see him, and he's like, yeah, no, I can't be bothered. 3. Canadians were shocked to learn that Trudeau had invited an extremist to a state dinner, a man who had been convicted of attempting to murder an Indian politician in the 1980s. Well done, Trudeau. Well done. And finally, Trudeau attracted ridicule around the globe for pulling out his tickle trunk and, quote, badly dancing the Bhangra, along with wearing traditional Indian attire throughout his trip. Quote, or in brackets, his Indian counterparts wore suits. Yeah. His Indian counterparts were not dressed up at all in any traditional, like, anything. And, like, they were just in business attire, because they're politicians. And Trudeau's just running around playing dress up. Ahem. Moving on to number 3 in our top 10. 3. Groping a woman. In June 2018, so 5 months after his trip to India, in June 2018, the world was shocked to learn that Trudeau had allegedly groped, and then with little dashes, or as the criminal code would allege, with any other person sexually assaulted a reporter at a beer festival in BC. Yeah, notice how when you're like a politician, or you're famous, it's only groping. But when you're, Joe Schmo on the street, it's sexual assault. Isn't that interesting? I find that interesting. I find that super duper interesting, actually. And why is chat not showing me the latest messages? Why did it take me all the way back up to the beginning? That's not helpful at all. There we go. Okay. So where are we here? So yeah, it came out that he groped this reporter at the beer festival. So then he says Trudeau shrugged at the revelation, saying that he did not recall any lasting or any, quote, negative interactions. He then cruelly smeared the victim, saying, quote, "Who knows where her mind was?" Oh, I remember that quote. I do. Oh, God. This is the person that there are still Canadians who will attest that he is still a great leader. Like, there are Canadians that still think this moron, this absolute racist piece of garbage, lying moron, is a good prime minister. And he even does shit that the left thinks is bad, but because it's Trudeau and he, like, gaslight, he doesn't even successfully gaslight anybody. But there's still people that are like, oh, well, it's okay that he did it. I just... Okay, we still have 6 more to go. 4. Obstruction of Justice. In February 2019, Canadians learned that Trudeau and his senior staff had tried to stop the prosecution of a Liberal Party donor for corruption. Yup. And Trudeau and his minions bullied Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould to intervene, but she refused. Trudeau then pushed Wilson-Raybould out of his caucus for telling the truth and for obeying the law. Later, the ethics commissioner issued a report on the sordid affair. It concluded that Trudeau had again contravened the Federal Conflict of Interest Act by improperly pressuring Wilson-Raybould to stop the prosecution of Quebec-based SNC-Lavalin. Yeah. So SNC-Lavalin made a huge donation to the Liberal Party, and then the Liberal Party was like, yeah, it's totally cool if you go build shit in Libya. Don't worry, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's fine. You're gonna give us some of that money, right? Yes? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go to Libya, build your buildings, get your money. Just as long as you give it some of it to us, it'll be awesome. We'll be fine. And then Jody Wilson-Raybould was like, yeah, that's illegal. And Trudeau was like, shh, don't say that or you're going to lose your cabinet post. And she was like, that's illegal. Oh my God. Okay. Halfway through. We're halfway through. We're halfway through. So here we go. 5 railroading whistleblowers in May 2019. Notice how all this shit happens like boom, 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 boom. Like for his entire 6 years in office, he has done nothing but be involved in scandals. Nothing else. Anyway, in May 2019, Vice Admiral Mark Norman was accused of leaking information to the media about a sweetheart deal for Quebec, about Quebec-based shipbuilder Chantier Davy Canada Incorporated. Norman defiantly pleaded not guilty, and the resulting mess turned into a massive scandal for Trudeau and his regime. Trudeau's prosecutors then hurriedly dropped the charges and later paid Norman compensation for his troubles. Yeah. So, yeah, that happened. 6. Racist behavior. Racist behavior. As if like the trip to India wasn't racist behavior. In September 2019, photos are published of Trudeau wearing blackface while partying as a teacher. A clip obtained by Global News even showed Trudeau smeared with dark makeup and with something jammed down his pants. Oh, yeah, because, if you're going to pretend to be black, you may as well make yourself look like you have a big dick. Oh, my Lord. I gotta go back to bed. Gotta be up in 3 hours. Well, thanks for stopping by, Gunny. Okay, here we go. So, let's go to number 7. Let's go. Wait, we didn't finish that. The thing. But yeah, so Trudeau thinks that it's necessary to not only, go blackface, but also to shove shit down his pants to make himself look like he's got a big dick. Around the same time, images surfacing show Trudeau wearing dark makeup and a turban at an Arabian Nights party, and also wearing an afro wig and mocking a Jamaican song during a talent show. Even Donald Trump condemned Trudeau's behavior as inappropriate. Yeah, when big brass Trump, who doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks about him, goes, let's see. Yeah, I know he was doing the Talimi banana thing. That one, it's just, the reason I agree with this being included in his wrongdoings is because he's so quick to call everyone else racist. He's so quick to, when people are asking valid questions, like about what the hell went on in that virology lab and why were Chinese citizens that work for the military allowed there, Trudeau goes, "Oh, that's racist. Don't ask those questions. That's racist." So, like, that's why I think that it's okay for me to or it's okay for them to include this in the list. If it was just on its face that he was like doing that song, that would be different, and I would say that's a nitpick. But when he's when he's ready to call everybody a racist just because they disagree with him, yeah, no, you get to be called out for wearing blackface and doing the tally me banana thing. The We corruption. In April 2020. See, he can't even make it another year. Not long after Trudeau is reelected with a slim minority, the We charity scandal breaks. The charity had received a Trudeau government contract to administer the $912 million Canada Student Summer Grant Program. Even though there were thousands of public servants perfectly capable of doing so, later on, the Ethics Commissioner ruled that former Finance Minister Bill Morneau, who had family connections to We, had contravened sections of the Conflict of Interest Act. Trudeau was forced to apologize for his role in the scandal, and Morneau was obliged to resign as Minister of Finance and an MP. So yeah, Bill Morneau basically had to leave the party in disgrace. Okay. Here we go. We are getting to the end of the list. 8. Gross incompetence. In January 2021, after Trudeau overruled an expert panel and appointed Julie Payette as Governor General, he was told by experts not to appoint her, and he did anyway. Disturbing stories started to emerge. Payette had been involved in a fatal auto accident, or a fatal auto collision, and a report concluded she had abused staff. She quit. Trudeau shrugged. Yeah. Okay. 9. Number 9. In case you guys aren't convinced as to why we shouldn't vote for Trudeau again, there's 2 more. 9. Rewarding sexual misconduct. Of course. In May 2021, General Jonathan Vance, the former Chief of Defense Staff, who with Trudeau vowed to root out sexual misconduct in the military, in the Canadian military, was simultaneously carrying on a clandestine affair with a subordinate. Meanwhile, Justin Trudeau and his chief of staff, Katie Telford, were reported to know about complaints against Vance. Trudeau told the House of Commons that, quote, "No one in my office knew the nature of the complaints," but former Trudeau advisor Elder Marcus told a parliamentary committee otherwise. Yeah, they totally knew. They absolutely knew. And the last one, number 10, Chinese cover-ups. In June 2021, the Trudeau government did what has never been done before. It sued the Speaker of the House, or the Speaker of the House of Commons, to keep secret documents related to the firing of Dr. I do not know how to pronounce that. Dr. Quay, I believe is how it's pronounced. How do you pronounce that? Yeah, Quay. Dr. Kwai will pronounce it. And her husband, Mr. Chang, from the National Microbiology Laboratory in Winnipeg. The pair had allegedly shared confidential information with a lab in Wuhan, China, the birthplace of the coronavirus. After ignoring several requests from a parliamentary committee to turn over documents, the House of Commons voted to order the papers released. In response, Trudeau filed a lawsuit against the Speaker of the House of Commons, a fellow Liberal. So yeah, Trudeau was so anxious to cover up what the hell was going on between the lab and China that he was willing to sue the Speaker of the House, who also happened to be a member of his own fucking party. That's Trudeau's. This is why I wanted to read the article verbatim, because those 10 bullet points in chronological order, those have that happened basically back to back to back to back, all through the 6 years of Trudeau's election, or Trudeau's office. And there are still people in Canada who think that he's the choice, who think that he's the one that can help us, and that don't think that he caused this entire mess. There are people that still believe, oh no, we're just still trying to recover from Stephen Harper. And if and you know, Trudeau's right that, you know, if we vote conservative or anything like that, we're just going to go backwards. Like, hey, Lord Famine. But yeah, that's our Prime Minister in a nutshell. And there are people that still think he's a good leader. And I don't know how and none of this shit, like a lot of people who like Trudeau, oh, the Toronto Sun is a conservative paper, blah, 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 blah. None of what they said is anything but fact. There's no conservative bias in there. There's no, like, anywhere you look, if you look up any of what has been talked about in that article, it's true. Like, there's no, that's the thing about this, is that Trudeau is so bad, he is so messed up, he is so egotistical, nobody needs to make anything up about him. The truth is the best slander, because it's not slander, it's the truth, and it's actually what's happening. The truth is the best smear campaign for this asshole right now. Nobody needs to come up with shit. Nobody needs to go digging. He's just that dumb. He's just that narcissistic. Yeah, I am surprised that they left out the payment to Omar Khadr. I am surprised about that. That is something I am surprised about. But yeah, that's keep that in mind when you're voting, people. That list is all factual. There's nothing that's untrue. And on that note, my friends, thank you for watching. you have come to the end of today's coffee stream. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Please come by Twitch tonight. I will be doing some more practice for the King of the Hill, which is next Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And it's not going to be on my Twitch channel. It is going to be on Blindcito's Twitch channel. I will actually put that link in chat right now. There. That is where the Blind King of the Hill is going to be next week. I'm going to be in it. You have to work tonight? Oh, that sucks. But yeah, so next Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, it's a King of the Hill with, and it's all blind and low vision players, and it's hosted by a legally blind Mortal Kombat player. And we're playing for $190 as of right now. There's still time for the pot to grow as well. So yeah, who knows? It might be over $200 next week. But as of right now, the winning the pot is $190. So yeah, if that's something that interests you, if you want to see some blind people beating the shit out of each other in hopes of winning some money, come check that out next Saturday. I'm also going to be finishing my alcohol, so that'll be fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys tonight on Twitch on my channel around 11, and also come back tomorrow for the Star Trek stream at 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about Ghost Dog's topic, the pros and cons of the Prime Directive, so you won't want to miss that. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.